spring, summer, autumn, our fall.
Along with these seasons, it has to do with the nature of the sun. What is the sun doing? So we know that in the winter our days are shorter and our nights are longer. And there's a date in December when it is the shortest day, longest night. And same for summer. Longest day, shortest night. But there's an in-between, in the middle. So the in-between means in between the longest day and the shortest day. So that middle point is what's coming up, and that is March 20th. So on Wednesday, that is officially the date of beginning of spring for this year. And so we'll see what it's like outside. And when I think it's supposed to be a little nicer this week. Yet last night it was cold. I think 24, and I think Thursday is going to be a very cold morning. Again, so be careful on the road. So a little bit of news. How was your week, everyone? Everyone busy? Yes. On the news, anything we can think of? Either local, state, or national news? News. U.S. news?
Yeah, about
World news? Hamtramck news? Did anyone notice?
some news about US.
Anyone notice on Saturday or yesterday or Saturday, people wearing green?
Yes, it is celebration summit. Patrick. Day. It is Irish.
What's this mean?
Saint. Saint.
Saint?
Saint.
What is a saint?
Holy person.
A holy person from long ago. Okay. And who was the person? Saint Patrick. Yeah. Irishman. Where was he from?
Ireland.
Ireland. Do we all know Ireland?
Yes.
Yes? Part of Great Britain, the island next to it. Ireland
But now
has...
it's two island. Ireland two. One
There's
with
what?
two countries. One
Uh,
is British, one is
Depends on who you ask.
yeah.
In Ireland, let's see if I have my little... This one's easier to put up. Do we see here?
Yeah, the green.
This whole area, that is the British Isles or islands. And we have England,
Yes.
Scotland,
What else?
And Wales over here, a little piece right here. Wales, not like in the ocean.
Yeah.
W-A-L-E-S. Yeah, Wales. And over here is Ireland
Ireland.
with two different colors. Ireland is a nation unto itself. North Ireland is connected to the United
British.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, although many people are saying we should be one country. So things change. And what happened here is, who's the boss? Who is the powerful country? England,
England, yeah. Kings.
the king. And a little bit about English history. Back in the late 1500s, there was a great battle, a big battle about who was going to control the religion of the people, who was going to be the boss. And the old religious group was from here in Rome, the Catholic Church. But there was a very cruel and brutal king, Henry VIII, who wanted to have a child, a son, to be a king. His wife could not have children. It happens, no kids. So he said, I want to divorce her.
Yeah. In Catholic, it's not allowed.
Divorce, do we know divorce?
Yes. Yes.
And the Pope, the leader of the church, said, no, you can't divorce.
One wife or all wives.
So what did he do to his wife?
Kill. Oh.
Yeah. Many of them. One after another. And so the leader of the church said to him, you're no good. Bad person. Kicked him out of the church. And he started his own church. Yeah. So some people in Ireland went with this church,
Catholic.
and some went with his church, the King's Church. So it's a very, I remember this, maybe you heard about it in the paper, but there were horrible Civil War fights in North Ireland, where children would be going to school and people would shoot across the street at one group, and it was horrible. Now things have settled down and people are getting along over religious fighting. And it's a horrible event. It doesn't have to be, but people do that. That is and the governments are different, and we see that today in other places where there is fighting between two groups of people wanting to be in charge. That is what is happening in Gaza and Israel to this day. Some people can't stop for whatever reason. But anyway, that's a little bit about Ireland. And this guy has nothing to do with this. And St. Patrick was a saint, but for whatever reason, people have decided to celebrate his day in March 17th here in the USA. And so there are parades, people dress up in green, and if you went to took it back down. But if you went to North Ireland and you went on the street and you're wearing green, someone may keep you up. Yes, because that's symbol of the Ireland and not North Ireland. So it's a little bit crazy, but there are certain things that you will notice here that happens on St. Patrick's Day that you should be, I should have told you about this last week. St. Patrick's Day is a people march and they have a celebration, but they also drink a lot of beer. Do we know beer?
Yes, of course.
Alcohol. And people that drink a lot of alcohol, what happens? What's that word?
Lost
They
his
get
mind.
what?
Lost his mind.
What's that word
Sakran.
in English?
Drunk.
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 Now, we know the word drink, right? When the verb drink, present tense,
I drank today.
yesterday I,
Drunk yesterday.
past tense, drank. This one is used in English to describe a person who is
Already.
too much alcohol. And we say, that person is drunk. A drunk person. So you will see this.
Drunk drive.
Drunk driving.
What does that mean? Drunk driving.
Bad. Body driving.
A person who is drunk, who is driving a car, and so that is called drunk driving. And that puts you in jail. Yes. I should have told you, as I mentioned, about this because on St. Patrick's night, people need to be very careful driving because people that are drunk driving are not able to control their car, even though they think they can. Something interesting about a person who is drunk. What does it do to your brain? What does it do to your brain?
Think slowly.
Can't focus.
You can't focus, yeah. So that you can't control your muscles, but also the part of your brain that makes you make judgment. To make, what does that mean, to make a judgment? To judge, do you know the word judge? To decide. Do this or don't do this. To make judgments. That becomes impaired. So, for example, here's a judgment. Oh, there's a river here. I need to go to the other side of the river. And so I say, it's only this wide. I can jump. Okay? I'm not jumping because I don't feel like it, but so you say to yourself, I can think about, am I going to make it? So I have to make a judgment. Can I make it? And so when a person has been, their brain is impaired, they make the wrong judgment. I can do it. So they try things that they shouldn't, which is why when someone is driving and they say, well, I can go 100 miles an hour, their judgment is impaired. So it is a fun day. People do have a good time, and there's something that goes with St. Patrick's Day, the food, the special food that people usually often serve during St. Patrick's Day. It's corned beef. Have you ever heard of corned beef? What do you think it means? Corned beef.
Corn, the yellow.
Do we know beef?
Yes.
What is beef?
Meat.
Meat from a what?
Cow.
A cow. That's got to be from a cow. Beef.
Yeah.
Corned beef has nothing to do with corn. It has to do with what you do with the beef. So it means salted with spices. So they take the beef, put it in salt for days and days and days.
Dry meat.
It doesn't dry it. It's wet. Salt water. Water with salt. Yeah. Corned beef is salted with water. And so it's somewhat preserved and then boiled for a long time till it gets good. So you can go to any deli, any store, you can buy corned beef. And for those of you that would, you can check on there to make sure if you like it's halal. Some would be halal, and some wouldn't, depending on how it's prepared. Well, good morning, Amira. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. So it's called corned beef, and it's often used deli. Do we know deli? What is a deli? What is a deli? Oh my goodness. I have to check the spelling on that delicatessen. Look it up. It doesn't look right.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Delicate.
What's after C-I?
Dedication.
C-I-O-U-X.
No. In New York, you're going to see this a lot.
Yep.
Double S. Delicatessen. It's a place where people get salad and sandwich foods, usually at a counter. So often it's shortened. The word is
Food.
shortened
Food.
to
Deli.
deli.
Food.
Up on by Horizon, on the north side of the street, there's a little store, coffee shop, okay, called Deli Delight. And you can get sandwich, soup, coffee in there. Deli, short for delicatessen. And one of the most common things at a delicatessen, especially if you're in New York, is corned beef sandwich. Corned beef sandwich. It means that it's been preserved in liquid, corned beef. It's quite good, very tasty. And so anyway, that was over the weekend. We had St. Patrick's Day in New York. There were many parades. I think there were some probably in Detroit as well. Something else happened this weekend. How about this one?
Relegated.
You know Putin?
Yes.
What happened?
Relegated. Re-elected.
Re-elected. That means elected
Yeah.
Re-elected.
again.
87%.
How many years?
4 years.
I think it's 6. I think, is this number 6?
It is was for maybe now.
I think this is his fifth election. So he's been in power for a long time and he's not going anywhere in power.
Elected. Again.
His election, he says he won
87.
8%.
I heard 88% of the people that voted for Putin. So we'll never know because who checks? Putin checks. So that was on the news this weekend. Then other thing to let you know is that
And we
Re-elect our
Next week is spring break.
which day?
For 2 weeks.
whole week.
Yes,
Wow,
the way
all week.
it is.
Only 1 week?
Good.
Well, yes and no. Whole week. No school. Okay.
Okay.
Then we come back to school. Okay. And then on
April 8, 9.
April 8th and 9th, what is that?
8 to 9.
What? Eid. No school.
Really? I think 10. April 10.
Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday of April.
But it is Wednesday.
Well, I'm going by what the school has said, but we'll talk about that, not next week, but the week after, to see who's going to be here. People take time off for Eid.
So we have a break only next week.
We have no school next week. This week we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then the week after that, no school. Yes.
Can I go ahead?
Of course, yes. Did you sign? You signed it. Did you take this?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll bring it back tomorrow if you could? Okay, inshallah. I hope I get, Ishraq calls me to let me know how you did, but don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, that's, any other news to report? They are still working on the roof and in the basement, so you'll hear noises up there, perhaps. I see that ladder was up there. So we have some reading things.
Oh, it's interesting. Who's just made ice cream?
Excuse me, give me a paper, please.
Of course. Did you sign, Sal? Yes.
Maybe this.
That's for you, and this is for you. Sign in. So we're going to read this together. We'll talk about, these are informational articles. And
Solid.
do you want to know about books or ice cream first?
Ice cream.
Ice cream first? Does anyone here like ice cream?
Yes. Yes, I like it.
No, you
I
don't like ice
too
cream?
much.
You don't like it?
I like.
You like it? Yes. Did anyone here ever make ice cream?
Me?
Make it.
Yes. Some many people have flag. I see it.
Well, you can make it in your house.
I know.
Yes. It's, did you ever make it? You can, what do you think goes in ice cream? What's in it?
Milk.
Some milk, yeah.
Well, let's find out.
Milk, ice,
Okay.
and soda.
I'm
Mohammed, we'll start with you. Start us off.
Who placed the made ice cream?
Okay, now, first of all, before we go any further, you will look at this picture and notice that this is a picture. What kind of picture is it? Is it a photo?
no.
No.
What
no.
is it?
Draw.
A drawing? And the word for that is,
Done and used.
Illustration.
illustration. It's a picture that's drawn. Illustration. Yeah. And notice that the clothing that they're wearing. What does it tell you about the story? When was this? 2024, or do you think it's of a different time?
Different time.
It's a different time. It's showing how people wore clothes a long time ago. So go ahead, Mohammed.
The first ice cream of the history.
The what?
Desert of King. It was made from snow.
Slaves?
Slaves were run to the mountain.
Mountains.
And
And gather.
gather snow back in the place.
Palace. Back in the
Palace.
palace.
They would and
They would what?
they would
He did.
they would and
What? Is that word? ADD?
would add
Add.
fruit or honey, lemon,
Roman.
and king like it ice cream.
Okay. So a couple words here. Dessert. Notice dessert has two S's. One S, desert. Two S's, dessert.
Dessert. Dessert.
The next word, slave. What does that mean? Slave.
The
People
black man.
without freedom.
People
What?
without freedom.
Or what?
People with no freedom.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. What does that word gather mean?
Collect.
Collect. Oh, that's great. Gather. Next word, palace. What is a palace?
The building for the kings,
Yep.
The building for the king or queen.
queens.
Roman kings. What kind of kings are they?
Roman.
Roman.
Kings from?
People
Rome.
Roma.
Yes. Ishak, next paragraph.
The Chinese make ice cream too. There's continued
Slaves.
milk. Years later,
Wait.
Continued.
There's what?
There's contained
Excellent.
milk. Years later, in Italy, ice cream was first made with cream. It was called the flower of milk.
The chefs.
The chef would not tell anyone how they make the first this
The word contained.
contained.
Notice it's an ED word, but we don't say contained, we just say contained. Notice something else here. This is a story. We had the first paragraph, we talked about getting ice from the mountains. Then the second paragraph says, the Chinese made ice cream, comma, two. Notice that. What does that mean? T-O-O. What does that mean?
Also.
Also. So you could say the Chinese made ice cream also. So the first one is about the kings and their ice. And now we're going to somebody else that made this stuff called ice cream. So that's why there's that comma two. Notice the word chef. What is a chef?
Cook.
What?
Cook.
Who made the food? The lunch and the dinner?
The boss of the cooking of the food.
Okay, the boss.
So if you are in a restaurant, you work in a restaurant, the person who's in charge of the cooking is usually often called the chef. Chef. Notice we know the word chief, but the chef is the chief cooking person. Chef. Last word, treat. What does that mean? Treat.
Chicken.
Make
The street. Doctor treat.
A doctor treats the patients. doctor treats the patient.
Verb.
Verb, yep.
Okay.
I make cookies as special treat. Cookies as a special treat.
Noun. Okay. So, a treat means something
Nice.
nice. Not every day. Not every day something special. A treat. So notice this word, treat. Say next paragraph.
A man named Mr. Bean made the first ice cream soda. It was accident. He had bought at a fair. He sold drinks. One day he ran out of cream, so he added ice cream to water and syrup. The soda was a big hit.
What does that mean? A big hit. What does it mean?
Fat and spicy.
Not hot. No. A hit.
Hit.
Size was bigger.
He made something and everybody liked it.
No spicy.
It was a hit.
Alright, just set it up on
It
purpose.
means, so for example, if I said, I made a song, I put it on a CD, and everybody likes my song. It's a hit. It's something very popular. If you go to a restaurant, someone comes up with something that everybody likes. It's a real hit. Yeah. Expression. We like it a lot. Notice the word ice cream soda. Do we know soda?
Yes.
What is soda?
Lemonade.
Soda.
Like Pepsi and Cola?
Pepsi, Coke, cherry, plain soda. It means it sparkles. Soda. Notice here it says, it was an accident. What
By
does that
mistake.
mean?
Suddenly,
Accident.
by mistake.
Not by mistake, but you didn't know it was going to happen.
Broken.
No, not that one. For example,
didn't
if I
mean
fall down and break my leg, oh, that's an accident. It means, in that case, it means
I
something
didn't mean
bad. Something bad. You didn't mean it to happen, not on purpose, but it happened. But sometimes, maybe someone is in the kitchen and they're cooking, and they're putting in spices, and they grab a different spice, and they put that in and say, oh, this is good. I like this. They have a new meal by accident. They didn't know they were doing it by accident. Last paragraph, Shitang Joa.
At another fair, two men were talking. One sold ice cream, the other sold waffles. They decided to combine their
Booths.
booths. The ice cream was
Poured.
into the waffles. That was the first ice cream cone.
Ice cream cone. Do we know ice cream cone?
The triangle, biscuit, under the ice cream.
This is the ice cream.
Cone.
This is the cone. It's like a waffle. It's like biscuit. Like a cookie biscuit. And this is the cone. This is the ice cream. We say, I would like an ice cream cone. This would look like this. So many places will say, That's a spoon. Some people will say, oh, you want an ice cream cone or dish of ice cream?
Dish.
Dish, this is ice cream cone. It doesn't tell us very much about ice cream, but do you know what goes in ice cream? What is in it? What are the ingredients?
A lot of sugar.
Do we know ingredients? What does that mean? Ingredient.
Yep. From what ice cream?
It means what's in it. Ingredients. What are the ingredients in food? So the most important thing in ice cream is cream. Yes. What is cream?
Milk.
Give us milk. Healthy milk.
Yes. So if you have milk, if you have milk from a cow or sheep or goat or camel, the milk will separate, and at the top,
Cream and milk.
the top part is the cream. It's thicker, sweeter, has more fat in it. Some people go to the store and they buy cream for their coffee cream. It's very rich, very sweet. So ice cream has cream and sugar and sometimes egg, often egg in it. And then you have to
Add some flavors.
flavor if you like,
How do we have to
vanilla, chocolate, anything. And you have to,
Mix it.
with cold. Ice cream is very cold. And then it gets thicker, and that's how it's made. You don't have to have super sweet ice cream because the cream is very sweet. It's quite delicious. So let's see, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to see if you can answer 1 through 5, or 1 through 6. Where, how, which, what. These are question words.
So first, made ice cream, people from Italy.
This story is about where ice cream.
The story is about where
Number 4 is a little difficult.
how the ice cream that from Romans 8. Too many ingredients.
Okay, we're pretty much gone, so let's, Sala, let's read us question number 1.
The story is about where? The story is about the first time made ice cream.
Where,
About where?
what would fit as grammar?
What is made?
What was made?
Ice cream.
Ice cream was first what?
Was the dessert.
Was first eaten. Okay. Notice that this is, I didn't make up this, but notice the title says, who first made ice cream? So it's talking about who. Then down here in this question, it says
Syllabus.
where.
Syllabus.
But we do know that it's about ice cream. This is an article about ice cream. So
The story is about where is made where
ice cream was first eaten. Eaten, what does that mean, eaten?
Past.
First tense.
It's past tense, but it's past perfect, so for past tense, I would say, I ate ice cream. Today I eat ice cream, yesterday I ate ice cream. But then if we put it into the past perfect, instead of saying I ate ice cream, I would say ice cream was eaten. So we have to have that was or were in there in front. Past perfect. Amir, number 2.
From what was the first ice cream made? Fruit or honey?
Well, let's take a
No.
look.
Will be a
First paragraph.
Snow
Snow
wood.
with
Snow.
Notice first paragraph, first line. It was made from
Snow.
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 So full answer for number 2. From what was the first ice cream made?
Snow. Snow.
From snow. Or if you put down snow, that's okay.
They
If you
was
said
added
from snow,
With the fruit or
was
honey?
our honey. The
Has
next
a flavor.
the next line. They would added our honey.
you can add that, but the most important thing is
Snow.
snow. Number 3, Zenith.
Which paragraph says about how the soda got started? The third one.
There.
Third.
Yes. There are.
Number 4, Taslima.
How is today ice cream different from what the Romans did?
Now this is when you have to decide.
Yeah, I think today make ice cream is easy and quickly by machine.
Okay, that would be one answer.
And a lot of flavors, ingredients.
So I don't think you are going to have any ice cream where someone has to go to the mountains and get some ice.
For ice cream. It's crazy.
And if you go to Italy, they have, it's called Italian ice. No, they won't say cream, let's just say Italian ice. And it's shaved ice with some syrup on it. The kids love it. Just shaved ice, so it's not hard. You can lick it, and they put syrup on it. Strawberry, chocolate, any kind of syrup.
Different.
It's quite sweet, quite good. But
That make a difference.
you hold it for a while, and it starts to melt. It comes all like this big mess. So there are many answers for number 4.
It's difficult.
The most important thing here is Today's ice cream is made from a machine. It doesn't say that in the story.
What is
Maharon, number 5.
What is your in paragraph 1 that means the trip after the desert?
Dessert. Double S. Dessert.
Word that
Rhyme.
with those words.
Wait. These words. What rhymes with dream? Sounds similar. Do you know the word rhyme?
Cream.
Well, rhyme means it has the same sound, but just usually one letter or one sound is different. So we have the word dream.
cream?
A word that rhymes with dream is cream. Cream. From paragraph 2.
Nice ice.
Okay, what was the next Kosima?
Nice tree.
Nice
Ice.
Ice.
ice. So rhyming words for nice: ice, lice, rice, vice. How about silk?
Milk.
Milk, silk.
Power. Flower.
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 Water.
Flower. Power, flower. Go back up to that illustration. The word, I didn't go over this, but the word booth.
Together.
Nope, that's both.
Apple.
Double O. B-O-O-T-H. Booth.
Apple.
It means you see up in the top there are 3 booths, people selling things, and one in front, he is selling cold drinks. So if you go to the Keyworth Stadium for a soccer game, they will have, you want a hot dog, go to the hot dog booth. You want soda pop, go to the soda pop booth. You want a shawarma sandwich, go to the shawarma booth. Booth. Not both.
Like this.
Both means two. Booth means a little stall or something else. You know, we used to have here in the USA a telephone booth. Does anyone remember a telephone booth?
ATM booth.
Where you walk into a little,
Yeah, the old.
shut the door, make a call, ATM booth. PNC, do you know PNC? The bank has an ATM right up outside. Do you see it on Main Street, the side of the building? And people walking by when you're doing a business transaction, that's not very good. You have no privacy. So many banks, they will put the ATM inside the bank, at least inside the doorway, so you have some privacy. Well, here we have the other side.
That was the first
Who
book.
wrote the first books? Now let's see if they answer that question, who. We don't know if they will or not. Notice that there's a picture up here. What do we call that kind of picture?
Illustration.
Egyptian.
Illustration.
Illustration.
This is the, remember, I don't know if it's still up there?
Yep.
Illustration. Who says Egyptian? What makes you think Egyptian? Why?
Pyramids.
The pyramids.
But it's about books. I think Chinese people.
Well, let's find out.
Let's go.
Maybe it will tell us. The first books.
First books.
I
think.
Where are we? Let's go over here. In the back of beer, start us off.
Who wrote the first books? Books, as we know them, have existed for about 500 years. But ancient people also wrote down their thoughts. Writings that are 4,000 years old have been found.
Some, just to let you know, I think they're finding some that are even older. What does that word ancient mean?
Old.
Old.
Asian.
Very old.
Can I go? I have a question.
Of course, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay? Be well. Beard, go ahead, another one.
These writings were carved on pieces of clay. The pieces were called tablets. A piece of iron called a chisel was the pen.
The pen. Do we all know clay? It's soft. It's what bricks are made out
Sand.
of.
Soft
But
sand.
it's like dirt, but mixed with water. You can carve into it and then it dries and keeps its shape. Back up here, Muhammad. In Egypt.
This
In the third paragraph.
in
Egypt. What?
In Egypt.
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 They learn how to use planet for
Plants.
plant for people. The plants were very
We're
tall.
all
Reeds. They very college paper.
they were called
Called
papyrus.
Papyrus. The reeds.
Or that word, I think I've heard it pronounced papyrus or papyrus. Go ahead.
They read very
Were cut.
and press it into
Thin
then
sheets.
sheets to story.
Store them.
Store them the sheets very
Were rolled.
rolls on sticks.
Papyrus.
This rolled sheet very polite called
Scrolls.
Scrolls that are 24 feet long and 10 inches
Wide.
wide have been found.
Have been found. Past tense. So that's a picture of a scroll that you see there up above. And it's talking about the papyrus was made from these plants, and they crushed the plant and flattened it and used it as we would paper. That's where the word paper comes from. Paper, the word paper comes from papyrus. Vishak, next one.
Books with parchment.
Excellent.
Parchment paper came about 300 AD. What's AD?
Means AD, do we know AD?
Before
BC, AD.
after.
This is Anno Domino, but we often use CE now. Okay?
The 300 AD parchment was made from animal skins.
Skins
The skins were sewn together. The writers used pens called
quills.
quills. All books were written by hand until
Mid,
mid 1400s.
we would call that the mid 1400s.
1400s. At that time, the first printing press was made. At least more than one copy of a book could be printed at the same time.
Okay, let's see if we can answer this. Number one, Shitangua.
This story is about how long 500 years, about 500 years.
How long something have existed? What are we talking about here?
Books.
Books.
How long books?
How long books have existed? Zala, number two.
What did people need gift used for people? I think papyrus,
Papyrus.
papyrus,
Yep. Papyrus.
papyrus.
Number two,
Papyrus.
what did people in Egypt use for paper?
Papyrus.
Papyrus. If you put down plants, you could, that's okay. But the name of the plant was papyrus.
Papyrus. Right, this is the proverb for that tells Roman parchment was missing.
The plants were told needs reads.
Number three, Amira.
Write the sentence in paragraph 4 that tells from what parchment was made. Parchment was made from animal
Skins.
skins.
Okay, that's the answer right there. Parchment was made from animal skins, right in the story.
Yes.
What do you think school was like in the year 1000 BC?
What do you think?
What do you think
A
school
group
was like
of,
in the year?
Group of kids.
You
And
think it was for kids?
No,
no,
adult.
adults.
Adult.
Who went to school in 1000 BC?
No school, only teaching under the trees or
Under the trees?
Yeah,
Depends on where it was, but did people have pens and pencils?
no.
How did they write?
Carve
What?
on the clay.
On the clay. You would have a clay tablet.
Clay.
But that was very difficult to carry around all this clay. So people learned by, I say it, you memorize it.
Yeah, yeah.
You learn it by memory from generation to generation. And they were very strict. If you miss a word, uh-oh. Pay attention. I had the school is different today than in the past, when teachers often used to carry a stick. Do you know a stick?
Yeah.
What is a stick?
Long, yeah,
Long piece of wood.
long piece of wood.
And if a student didn't do the right thing, what happens with the stick?
Hit him.
You get smacked with the stick. You can't do that in the USA today. You can't hit kids, period. Well, let's finish it, then I'll write some on the board here. Next one, Deslima.
What is the word in paragraph 1 that means very old?
Ancient.
Ancient. A-N-C-I-E-N-T. And number 6.
Write the
Plural.
plural for these words.
Thoughts and
Pieces.
Remember, singular, plural. Singular, plural. Singular, one. Plural means more than one. This came up, we had this. What year is it right now?
2024.
So, this whole thing with giving a year to something is based on something. So we go down here to going backwards this way. We keep going. This is the year 1000. Here is the first year. So you have to start with some year. You can't say year 0. You start with 1, year 1. So you will see this in both ways. Depends on what you're reading. This is AD, and it means the same as CE. The CE means common era. Common era. Then
One before P C.
Common era before the common era. Going forward, going back. So you will also sometimes see this as BC. BC. You have to remember that at this time, right in here, who was the power country in the world? What country? Right here.
Roman.
Roman. The Roman Empire. Yes. So this is called, based after a Roman person, we use what's called the Julian calendar. Named after the leader of the Roman people, Julius Caesar. Julius, July. Do you know the word Caesar? What is the Caesar?
God,
What?
right?
The emperor. Emperor.
For some people, just like God,
Like a god, yep. Like Putin.
which is not.
He thinks he is.
He thinks like God.
The big guy. Many, you have to remember that history, we only know certain pieces of history about the people, but they gave, the king was more than just a king, like we have a king of England, but the Roman king called the Caesar was very powerful. So that's a little bit about this timeline. So we'd say, going backwards, 200 BC or BCE, 300 BC, going back like that. So in that picture, you saw the picture of the pyramids. Remember the pyramids? We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. That was way back here. 3000 BCE. The pyramids were being built. All right, we'll stop for today. And then go on with our story tomorrow. We're going to read about, we're going to start a story about a person, okay, and I think it's kind of interesting, but before we do that, I just saw a paper, a document yesterday that I had not seen before, that someone in my family had found, and this was in New York City around the year 1900. 1900, actually it's a little later. These were the years when many, many people from the world were coming to the USA. Immigration was high to the US. But there were also people in the US that wanted to leave the US and go back to where they came from or to a new place. So if they were coming into New York, they went to the
Immigration office.
If they were leaving, they went to the immigration office. So you will see these, usually this is the one that's used most often, but immigration means coming in. So you are immigrants here from where you're from. You immigrated here. Where you came from, you emigrated from where? Yemen, Bangladesh, where else? Pardon? Afghanistan. Afghanistan. Anywhere else? Do we have anyone here from? No, not this class. I have some students from Syria. Do we know Syria? Mauritania. We have people here from many countries this year. Okay, so immigration and emigration. All right, see you tomorrow. We're going to read about Amelia. And have a good afternoon and stay warm. See you tomorrow. Bye.